Okay, boys and girls, we're going to get started with reading for day 2. So we're going to go ahead and get started looking at our learning goal for today. Our learning goal is I can read, talk, and write to compare 2 desert animals. How are we going to meet this goal? Today we're going to read our story. We're going to talk about 2 different desert animals, and then we're going to write a comparison. Okay, we do this to become stronger readers and writers. So the question of this week is, what can we learn by exploring the desert? Now, yesterday we learned a lot of different things while exploring the desert. Today we're going to learn even more about specific animals and some of their adaptations. We have some new words to look at today. This first word is scaly. Everybody say scaly. Scaly. All right, now that means they have a rough edge of their skin. It's little scales that all line up together. And we're going to talk more about that. This next word here is tough. Everybody say tough. Very good. Now, tough means hard or strong. All right, so we're going to learn more about that in a minute. We have some phrases to work on. These phrases might be a little tricky while we're reading, so I want you to repeat after me. I'll say it first, then you say it next. Coo, 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 it calls. Your turn. Very good. All right, let's get this font fixed here. Next, warm their scaly bodies. Your turn. Scaly bodies. Very nice. Next one. Look, did you see that rock move? Your turn. Look, did you see that rock move? Next one. Break off tough desert grasses. Your turn. Break off tough desert grasses. All right, very nice. Oops. Go to my next slide here. So we're reading to find out what kinds of animals live in the desert. We're also want to remember that we've been learning about animal adaptations. So maybe think about what kind of adaptations do these animals have. All right, I want you to go ahead and open up your book to page 128. You can pause the video if you need to get to this page. Once you're there, we're going to get our reading finger ready and we're going to all read together. So I want you reading out loud with me. Everybody, look and read. What is that large bird? It's a roadrunner. Coo, 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 it calls. The roadrunner hardly ever flies, but it can run fast. Watch it chase a lizard to eat. All right, so I'm going to point out here we see a picture. The words next to the picture, this is called a caption. Everybody say caption. All right, now a caption is something that describes a picture. It might be one word or it might be a lot of words to describe this picture. So in this picture here, we see a roadrunner. In this picture, we see the caption says tree lizard. Maybe we're going to learn a bit more about the lizard on the next page. Let's look and read. Here are some other lizards. Lizards need the sun's heat to warm their scaly bodies, but when it gets too hot, they look for shade. So we're going to look here. I see here it's talking about a zebra-tailed lizard. Wonder why it's called a zebra-tailed lizard. Next, I'm going to look here at this leopard lizard. Why do you think this guy is called a leopard lizard? And the last you can't see on my screen, but you can see in your book, the short-horned lizard. We have all kinds of lizards on this page. So let's think. Let's find our text evidence that tells us what happens when lizards stay out in the heat for too long. Let's find our text evidence. I'm going to get my highlighter ready. Remember, don't mark in your book, but you can look on my screen. Let's see, it said lizards need the sun's heat to warm their scaly bodies, But let's see what happens when they stay out too long. When they stay out too long, it gets hot and they go look for shade. So lizards can overheat very quickly because they're cold-blooded animals, which means they have to get their heat from the sunshine. All right. We're going to go ahead and look at our next goal. We're comparing here, we're finding out how the rattlesnake and the desert tortoise are alike. Did you think rattlesnakes and turtles could be the same? We're also going to tell how they're different. So let's read on the next page to find out. So we're going to go ahead and turn the page to page 130. All right, let's look at this page together. Reading finger ready? Reading finger ready, and we're ready to read. Look and read. A rattlesnake lies next to a rock. Its earth colors make it hard to see. Rattlesnakes are dangerous. A bite from one will kill a small animal. If you hear a rattlesnake shake its tail, it is trying to scare you away. Look, did you see that rock move? It isn't a rock at all. It's a desert tortoise. The hard shell protects the tortoise from enemies and from the hot sun. The tortoise uses its sharp beak to break off tough desert grasses. It sometimes eats cactus fruits too. So I see we have some more pictures with our captions here. So this caption tells me that this is the picture of a desert rattlesnake. This is a picture here of cactus fruits. Have any of you actually ever tasted a cactus fruit? Last summer when I was visiting the desert in Arizona, we tasted cactus fruit candy. Did you even know they made that? It's almost like gummy worms or gummy bears, but it's made out of cactus fruit. It actually tasted pretty yummy. So let's think. How are the rattlesnake and the desert tortoise alike? And how are they different? So first, let's find some things that we know about the rattlesnake. Try to find some text evidence. I think this first paragraph talked a lot about the rattlesnake. So what are some things that make the rattlesnake the same as the tortoise? Well, let's see. I see that the rattlesnake shakes its tail to scare people away. That tells me it's trying to protect itself by shaking its tail. Now let's look at the tortoise. Can the tortoise protect itself? I read here, the hard shell protects the tortoise from enemies. Okay, so both animals have ways to protect themselves. They have adaptations that help them stay protected. All right, now let's see maybe how they're different. All right, now let's see. Rattlesnakes eat small animals. What does the tortoise eat? Well, it says here it uses its sharp beak to break off tough desert grasses. And I also know what else does it eat? Sometimes it eats cactus fruits. So the rattlesnake and the tortoise eat very different things. Now, let's think back to science. How do both of these animals use camouflage? Well, here I saw that the rattlesnake, he has earth colors. Now, earth colors mean they're the color of dirt, of earth. So think about browns, blacks, tans, and grays. Now, in the desert, would this rattlesnake want to be bright green? No, he's not in a jungle. He doesn't want to be bright green. He wants to blend in. So he's going to be a brownish, reddish, gray, and black color. Now let's see. The desert tortoise, it says, did you see that rock move? Look at our picture. The tortoise also uses some camouflage here. All right, he's got more desert colors just like the rattlesnake. So both of these animals have adaptations that help them survive in the desert. Your question today is, how are the rattlesnake and the desert tortoise alike, and how are they different? I want you to see if you can use text evidence that we found today to help answer your question. So you're going to complete your reader response in your notebook, and then you're going to turn it in on Class Dojo. I'll also have the instructions for you for this reader response in Class Dojo if you forget what to do. Make sure to look back in your story for text evidence. When you're finished, you may do I Ready reading. Thanks, guys.